Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. I am here to start a whole new series. And every day with these daily videos, it's always a question of what I should do. Because honestly, for today, I got like 5 videos that I could upload, but I don't know which one to choose. I don't know. That's the problem with YouTube nowadays, is that it's always a gamble with them whether your video is going to get a hit or it's going to be a fail. Like yesterday's video, I thought that'd be a great video because it was actually a very important video to me, at least. The fact that I grew up as a video gamer and then I watched this X-Files episode that attacks gamers, even though the people who made that episode have never probably played any video games before. So I thought that would be a great, but it was a fail. It only got like a couple of views. It was a fail. So I just decided, F it. I will do a couple of videos today, and one of those videos is this. Because I got the idea, I would really like to mainstream everything. In the past few years, I've been trying to expand. I started a channel where I just posted my filmmaking stuff. And I started another channel in the winter where I just posted podcasts about life and casual stuff, or I just kind of talked about whatever. Well, I think that was kind of a mistake, because why do that when I could just post it here? Like, I can still have it be a part of this channel, and so I think that I'm going to do that. I'm just going to mainstream everything, because it'll bring more people to just one place. It won't make it confusing. It won't make it like, oh, they go to that channel. So yeah, I am going to be, this is an announcement that I'm going to be, I don't know if I'll re-upload the podcasts, but when I restart the podcast again pretty soon, when I have the time to the problem isn't shooting videos. The problem is the uploading. Like, I could shoot hours and hours of video every day, probably, and not care and just have fun with it. The problem is the uploading. And when I do those podcasts, it takes a long-ass time to upload them. It's a pain, and it's another gamble. And with longer videos, they're even more of a gamble because they take more time to make and to upload. So try to stay away from longer form videos, but I will be re-uploading my short movie onto this channel. I will be re-editing Super Dumbasses and putting it on this channel. The problem with Super Dumbasses, as I've stated before, was those dipshits in the movie. They played copyrighted music the whole movie in the background, and so I could never make money off of it, even though it was a completely original film, and it just happened to have copyrighted music in the back. That's what sucks, is that, and so I'm just going to put everything into it and re-edit it so it has everything. I have tons of footage that I can put in there. I might do some other things with it, tweak it a little bit, and I'm going to re-upload it all as one video on this channel. And I'm doing that so that it's just all focused here. It's all mainstreamed here. And then I can have those channels that I made as a fallback. Like, oh, if this channel gets deleted by some loser, then I'll just go to those channels. And then if they delete those, I'll just make another channel, and another channel, and another channel. I'm never going to be defeated by anyone. That's for damn sure. Everyone should just do what they do and not care, and just keep on doing it. Because if you stop based on other people who are like causing trouble, then it's just going to be bad for you. Like, if you keep going, then they're the ones losing. And that's what I've learned too. So, back to this video, which is already 5 minutes, and I know people hate that, but sometimes it is necessary to make these little announcements before you get started with the main topics. And it is always relevant, because this is all going to be all about making a film. I really have always wanted to make films ever since I was about 3 years old. 2 maybe. 2 years old. Watching movies all the time. I didn't have any friends, and so I would just watch movies at home, and I would talk about movies at school, and the kids wouldn't have any idea what I was talking about, because they weren't allowed to watch any movies, or they were too, they weren't able to for some reason. Like, those losers who won't watch black and white movies, those are the types of people. So I would reference them all the time and just want to talk about movies, and I couldn't talk to anyone about movies except for my family. And then as I grew older, I did a lot of stuff. I would do little scenes on the playground in grade school, and I would rehearse scenes for movies that I liked, and actually like try to perfect them as if we were going to perform them. And I would cast people. I would have a whole group of people, actors who I would work with on the playground, and I would just spend the entire time coaching them, because I thought, why would I just want to sit around and waste my time at recess when I could be doing movie stuff? And I tried to make a couple of projects, and I just didn't. I wasn't able to, because I didn't really know how. I wanted to make like 5 movies in grade school, and I just didn't do anything. And that was sort of a mistake, was that I never acted on it. I never, even though I had people, and that's the sad thing, was I had people who would have acted in my movies for free, and people who lived right by me, a couple of kind of loose friends from school. And I never made anything with them, though, and that's sad. And then in middle school, you know how people are in middle school. Everyone turned into complete miserable jackasses. And it didn't help that people started a rumor that basically, they canceled me. And this was back before cancel culture. They canceled me in middle school. And I was not able to make any friends or have any sort of relationships at all. And so I just didn't do anything in regards to film at school. But then in the summer, I would go to pre-college camps where they were all about filmmaking, and the people weren't friendly there for the most part. So I would just stick to working and be as professional as possible, and just focus like it was an actual school, not like it's just a fun summer camp. And I really had a ton of fun just doing this little filmmaking work, shooting these little segments, interviewing people, doing technical stuff. It was so much fun to do that. And I had, they had counselors, and they were older, and they could see that I was passionate about filmmaking. And so in between the terrible years of middle school, I was able to do that, and that was really helpful. And I wish I could show you guys the video from those camps, but I can't, because because they actually say each camp that if we uploaded any videos, then they would sue us for some bullshit reason, which I guarantee you that they would not be able to sue you for, just showing these videos, on your social media, where, they're private social media accounts. And then in high school, I gotta be honest, I kind of just forgot about filmmaking, and I just focused on bitches. And I say bitches because, my area, they have a specific type of girl, which is, we call them Beaver Creek girls. And they're the worst types of people in the universe. And for some reason, though, I just obsessed over them and focused on them for all my high school years. I didn't do any filmmaking, anything. I wrote a couple of scripts, tried to. It didn't really work out. And then, of course, all of the attempts with those bitches failed. And I'm glad they failed, because they were some weird, mentally ill people. And I don't use the term bitch like just openly in regards to women, obviously. I use it specifically in regards to these ones. And then after that, I tried to get some projects going, just problem. And a big problem with me is that I give up on things, on projects, and I just defeat myself, basically. I'm a self-defeatist. And so I actually wrote my first full script on the last week of high school. And it was a huge help that I had this creative writing course where I wrote every single day. And that really helped me, because I had a problem with writing full-length scripts. I could only really write like a 10-page thing, or just like spurts here and there. And R.L. Stine also really helped me, because he gave this perfect advice where he said, you don't have to write your script linear. You can write parts of your script and then piece them together like a puzzle. And so that was the most groundbreaking information about writing that I ever had. And it really helped me, because as soon as I learned that, I have these idea explosions where I just get a ton of ideas for scenes, and then I piece them together, and then it just organically just creates a full vision. And I tried to do this first project. It was all these problems happened. I don't want to blame anyone else for why it failed, but it just failed. I even started a crowdfunding campaign, and I raised $0, zero, not even a single penny. So that failed, and that was a big, just, these little blows do not help, and I'm just so easily defeatable that I just completely gave up after that. And I thought, maybe what I should do is start this YouTube channel so that I can get an audience of people who will see me and they'll want to support me in the future. And no matter what it is. And they'll see that, that was bad, but, we know that this guy, we know that he has a passion for it and that he'll do better next time. Or maybe if it's good, then they'll be able to spread the word about my movies, because that's a big problem with independent filmmaking, is marketing. And so I started this channel. Safi very much helped, because she came up with the core idea. It was one morning, and we talked about, for some reason, she said, yeah, Batman v Superman sucked. That movie's like a piece of steak that has been burnt to a crisp. And I said, well, what's Suicide Squad? How would you rate that in terms of food? And she said, that's another burnt piece of meat, and it's burnt to a crisp, and it's black, and it's just gross, and I can't eat it at all. And I said, well, okay, how about a flip side? What would you rate The Dark Knight? And I said, I would rate it chocolate chip pancakes with sausage. And that is my favorite breakfast. That is my all-time favorite. If you ever want to know what is my favorite breakfast, it is chocolate chip pancakes and sausage. And I love the sausage to be slightly overcooked, slightly crispy and burnt, slightly. That is The Dark Knight. And I thought, whoa, hey, I wanted to start YouTube for years, and I never did. But then when she did that and we talked about this food rating thing, I thought, oh shit, I could actually do that. No one's done that yet. No one has just dedicated a whole channel to rating things in terms of food. And so I started the channel. And I didn't take the channel seriously at first because I gotta be honest, I don't give a flying fuck about YouTube. I don't care about all these pathetic children with their little drama, online drama, and, their little back and forths. I don't care about reviewing, like, oh, what's the latest news about the Marvel movie? I don't give a fuck. I just want to make movies. I just want to make some fucking movies. I don't care about those other movies. I just want to make my own. But back before this channel, I didn't even watch movies. Like new release movies. Like, I'd hardly watch anything. Because it's all trash. It's all complete trash. I would watch the independent stuff. I watched the smaller stuff. And so, doing this channel, really, it started off as this pain, because I don't give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck about any of it. The only reason I do this channel is for future support of filmmaking stuff. Honestly, that is completely honest, 100% honest. It's not the fact that, and so over time though, I started to like it, and I do like it now. I used to hate it. I used to hate because I did all these backward things, like I didn't have any pictures on the video, and I had this thing on my phone where you have to tap your phone every 10 seconds. And so I would upload for hours, and I'd just tap the phone every 10 seconds. It was a nightmare. It was a complete nightmare. But over time, a lot of people started watching the videos, and the more people watched and the more people gave feedback and commented, I liked doing YouTube more, because I was like, finally, people are paying attention to my creative work. Finally. Just doing like a rant video, it's fun to me. And it's something actually helps me, because it's almost like putting on a comedic performance. I'm still myself, but I don't get that angry. I don't care about any of this crap. So it actually really has helped over time, and it's really invaluable to me as a filmmaker to do this type of off-the-cuff stuff. And then after a while, I was really discouraged after that first project. I used this casting website. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's very well known. And the types of people who are on there who advertise themselves as actors, they are probably, and now keep in mind, like, I have studied serial killers. We see bad people in the news all the time, nowadays. But I gotta say, these people who advertise themselves as actors on the internet, they are the worst people that I have ever met, ever. They are the worst human beings. I can't even call them human beings. I can't even call them actors, because so many of them are complete frauds, and they are complete attention whores. And, the way that they acted, like, I'll give you an example, because I don't want to give too many, because I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, I should just move on and just, keep on going. That's what I'm trying to do right now. But, for instance, I had this one actor, and I use the term actor lightly, because they're not an actor. And we messaged, and they said that they were going to do the movie. It was like it's a small role. It only required it only required two fucking scenes. And then a third one with like a dummy that looks like her, the character. Not to give any spoilers away for that story. But a year later, all of a sudden, a year later, they finally messaged me back. Never, and they didn't even give me an audition either. So I waited a year for this person to send me an audition. Never did it. And then they said they wouldn't do the movie after a year of waiting on their ass. And I did that as a courtesy, because back then I had the mindset of like, oh, these are nice people and I should just wait and wait and wait and revolve my entire life, my entire film around the convenience of these frauds. And so that's just one example. I have like 1,000. So they really discouraged me. And to be honest, these types of incidents, they really discouraged me from wanting to do anything filmmaking wise, because it's like, you know what, like I don't want to have to deal with these fucking disgusting evil people. I don't want to have to deal with them. They're evil and awful. The actors in general have become so full of themselves, and in particular these fake ones who, they did an extra part like a year ago, and then like they never do anything ever again in their lives, because they're fakes, they're frauds, they're phonies. But then I had a friend who was really fucking hot. I mean, she looked like Tessa Thompson but hotter, and she was a really nice person. She's not on the internet anymore, and she was my Facebook friend for years because of a horror movie group. And I will say, horror movie fans are great. I love horror movie fans. They are the best types of people on the internet. They're very nice. And this woman, she informed me. I never would have known about it if not for her. She informed me that this certain filmmaking company was it was accepting script submissions, and she told me, you gotta submit a script right now. And I couldn't submit that first one because it's actually a part of a trilogy that I wrote. Well, actually like a 5-movie thing, because I wrote a prequel and I wrote another sequel. So I didn't want to do that. And so I came up with 10 ideas, and I picked the best one and wrote a script. And it was so amazing writing this script. I've been bitten. You guys know all about it already if you followed me at all. And I loved it. And but then I ran into the same types of problems. But it actually got even worse with these fraudulent actors. And so, once again, like I'm just, I've been trying to keep on going with that, but it is hard. It is hard because, you just see these people who are just complete, it's like, why are they lying? Why are they faking, just to get attention, basically? And so it's just been a huge waste of time. And also this channel hasn't really grown that much either. But I've tried to, just move forward. And this year, I said, you know what? I am going to make another movie to raise money for that movie. And I am going to make something very small. Very, very small. The other movie was kind of small, but it still had some, like, expensive, like, having to shoot in a high school, having all these characters. It was very... It seemed like it's going to be a lot of expense going into that movie. Even though it's like a small movie. It's a very small scale film. And I didn't submit the film to the company because it was too personal. It's a very personal story, and I wanted to make it myself because I know that I can do it. But this story, and now that is where I get into the let's make a movie, episode 1 part. I came up with the idea for this story thanks to online Comicsgate YouTubers because they have repeatedly said some really great advice in terms of creating. They said, instead of writing fan fiction, create your own characters and take the fan fiction and make it your own story and own characters. Don't just write other people's stories and other people's characters. Take that and make it yours so that you own everything, so that you have full creative control. Don't just sit around wasting your time writing about the Batman, because I wrote like a full series for Batman back in the day. It was supposed to be like a sequel series to Smallville, and I wrote it, and some really bad shit happened with that, with this pedophile, retarded woman who tried to take advantage of me as well. I don't even want to talk about that bitch. I do have proof of that too. I have a couple of things in regards to that, but so I had in middle school I wrote a story for Frankenstein, and it was a sequel to all the Hammer Frankenstein movies, and it was a cool little fun story. It was all about this homeless kid who got terrorized by these people, and one night he's being terrorized in a cemetery, and Dr. Frankenstein comes and saves him and sort of Mr. Miyagi's those terrorizers. And then he takes the kid under his wing and he says, okay, I'll take you off the streets if you'll help me fucking reanimate the dead. And so then they kill people and they reanimate this corpse. And the kid says, oh, hey, I have my own little soldier now. And he uses the corpse to the monster to kill both of those terrorizers. And I based both terrorizers off of people I hated in middle school. And so that was pretty funny too, the fact that and I got like a B+ for it too. It was a pretty successful story. And then they get cornered, and the police, and there's this whole mob. They're in a bar, and they're just trying to stay locked up in this pub, actually. And they get caught, and then they escape the execution. But the monster does die. So I thought that I could do that. But then I could just make it my own story, my own characters. And I could change it so much to where it's not Frankenstein anymore. Well, then I got to thinking, and I thought, you know what? I need to in order to fully disassociate from that original fan fiction that I wrote, I need to create this new character, a new background, a new backstory. I can't just pretend like this is a sequel to anything, because it's not. And so I ended up creating a new story. And that is where the idea comes in, because as David Lynch has said, the idea is everything. And it's true for everything in life. I make cards for people who are close to me, like family, friends. Well, I don't have any friends around me anymore. But I make cards, and the most important thing about making those cards is the idea. The idea, just the pure idea. What is this card going to be? And for 1 year, I said, well, I'm gonna have all the people, all the celebrities who were born on the birthday of this person. I'm going to put those faces on the card, and that's the card. And, just little ideas like that. Little ideas. There was one year where someone wanted to get a drink. A specific drink, and they searched everywhere. And then it turned out that the drink was on the porch with the cat, and the cat was peeing all over it. And so, but the thing is that it's all about that initial idea. That initial idea is key, and if it's a good idea, then that is golden. And with this, the initial idea was stem cells. And it is literally possible, it is possible, scary enough, it is possible to create a person out of nothing. By using stem cells, you could recreate like everything about a person and create like a full body. And to me, that's pretty creepy. And it's almost like creating a golem. And so I thought that it would be a great idea to make a story where you have this character, and he's a lot like me in terms of he is I don't want to say failure, but he is a struggling person, and he is trying to create things, and he is trying to do something successful and make something of himself. And he ends up going down this dark path of making a golem, essentially. And he has family problems too. And I thought that would be good to have themes about bad family and how bad family can affect you, and how and I'm not saying it's all based on reality. I'm just saying certain aspects, so don't take that literally. But this whole bad family thing, just showing how, in general, how evil parents can affect you, and how evil family members of any kind can affect you, can make you become an evil parent eventually. And so that was the idea, and that idea took me on a ride and a journey. And so, in conclusion, all movies start with an idea. And if your idea is good, then your movie can be good. And then, you know what happens when you have that big idea? You have a bunch of little ideas that come with it. And so you'll think one day, this movie, it would be really cool? A scene where these characters do this, and that would be awesome. And you end up piecing together a movie like a puzzle with these ideas. And so everything starts with an idea. That's how all movies start. Unless you suck and you start movies based on like trends and things, which, gross. Like, I just can't stand that. Like, that Star Wars movie was really popular, so let's make a movie that's like Star Wars. Like, that's just lazy. So yeah, I will be doing these segments every week, every single week. I'll try to on Fridays, and I really hope that you'll go on this journey with me, because I really want to make a movie, and I am going to. It's already been made in my head. I just have to manifest it into reality, and to, make it possible. And so I really hope that you guys will just, you don't have to, like send money or anything like that, but just sit back and support and watch the journey from beginning to end. So please like this video, comment, and tell me what you think about this new series. I'm just really excited to make a movie. Like, honestly, I could be on a movie set every day. I really don't like the fact that that's why I made Super Dumbasses last year, is because I was bored and I wanted to make a fucking movie. And so that's why I took so many risks. I risked my life making that movie because I wanted to make a fucking movie for once. So yeah, and then please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos in this series. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.